Hey guys, this is Keith, and you are listening to Thank God for the Group Chat. Um, Today we have Alana and T. DeWitt. They're back with us this week. Glad to have them. Super excited. We're recording at a different time. This is definitely going to take a toll on the tone of the podcast, but I'm excited to see how it goes. Are you guys tired?
Yes.
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 Been
Okay.
up since 6:30.
Oh my gosh, we're not going to act tired though. We're all tired, but everybody listening to us, disregard it. We are super excited to be here. Excited to talk about the topics that we have to talk about today. And yes, I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be a good one. As tired as we are, but we do this. We do it for y'all. We do it for y'all. How y'all doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah.
Y'all good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
How you doing?
Keith?
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I got pulled over.
What?
Today.
I want to say this before I say anything else. Y'all remember that there was this thing going around, like if you have an iPhone, all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri, I'm being pulled over," and like all this stuff will activate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
not
remember
true.
that.
It's not true.
I didn't think it was.
Yes, I tried it.
I didn't think
I'm
it
not
was.
surprised that you're the first person that I know to have tried it. Just to prove that it doesn't work.
I didn't want to try it until I actually got pulled over.
And you remember to, which is also hilarious to me.
I said, I got to record this. Oh yeah, I got an iPhone. Hey Siri, hey Siri, I'm being pulled over. This is what she said. Oh, she ain't say it this time. But when I said it, like I'm in distress, right? I won't say distress. I'm in duress, right? And I was like, hey Siri, I'm being pulled over. And she goes, I don't know what that means.
She acted
what you want me to
completely
do
brand
about it?
new.
Yes.
Completely brand new.
She was like, you on your own, player.
Who are you?
Yes.
So from what I heard is you were supposed to like download a specific app to make Siri do the. I don't know. I didn't even.
Well, I got to download the app when I paid for $1,000 phone.
I don't know.
I shouldn't have to download no more apps.
None. The phone should just do it. All the things.
Yes, all the things your man won't do.
They just there.
All the things your man won't do. I had to delete stuff today.
From your phone? You got mad, so you started deleting stuff?
No, this just happened like maybe 2 hours ago. No, okay. So like I'm driving, and then the police officer, he just saw me and he decided to pull me over.
Did you get a ticket?
He was like, you switched lanes without turning your signal on. And I said, fam, there's nowhere on this road that indicates where I'm supposed to be going. It all looks like one big lane. I don't know. And you know that. He's like, I come down this road every day. I'm like, then you should know that there's nothing that says.
But I'm saying it's a surprise.
Exactly. And he said, well, I'm not going to give you a ticket for that, but I'm going to give you a ticket for not having your seatbelt on. I said, fam, I didn't have my seatbelt on because I took it off so that I could reach over for my license and registration. You know that.
Plus, didn't this happen like 2 hours ago? Is it dark there?
It's dark now. Okay. It wasn't dark then. And he was like,
how could he even see that?
Yeah, he was like, I saw you come down when you ain't have your seatbelt on. I said, I don't drive without my seatbelt on. He said, you want the seatbelt ticket or you want the moving violation?
It was a multiple choice question.
Yeah. I said, I'd rather not be in this situation at all.
Right. You just finding stuff at this point.
He was like, have a good day. I said, you too, man.
You're just finding stuff.
No, he's not finding things. He's making things up.
and he's betting that you won't fight it.
Seatbelt ticket.
Seatbelt ticket.
Like he's betting you won't fight it. Because I've gotten that before and I didn't fight it. I went ahead and paid for it.
I'm gonna fight this. I'm into fighting things now. Okay. I'm into fighting things. Yeah. I like to get dressed up now because I don't get dressed up. So I would love to get dressed up and go to court for this.
You don't have to dress up for that type of court.
Yes, you do. So they know that you serious.
Okay. That you have a real job you took off of for this.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm not just some random. Right. I still gotta go to work after this, Yana.
Yana.
Why is your honor so funny? Why is that a funny title?
I don't know.
Because it's not something you say in regular.
It sounds out of place.
It's out of place.
To say at the end of a sentence, yes.
I feel like the last time I went to court for a ticket, I did say Your Honor, but it was because I was baffled by the question he asked me. Because he was like, "Are you here?" Like, I feel like he should have had the paper in front of him, and he was like, "Are you here for not paying child support?" And I was like, "I don't have any kids, Your Honor."
Your Honor, I was like, you got to throw the Your Honor on there because it's like, are you being disrespectful?
Yeah, like I was like,
I don't know if you're gonna think I'm being smart.
Right.
Yeah,
Your Honor. Like, that's the only place in where that works. Everywhere else, you are being smart.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to be smart this podcast. I hope we talk about some smart things and say some smart things. Oh, speaking of which, word of the day. Okay. Our word of the day is Lord. I'm gonna have somebody else do these words of the day.
Not me.
Why don't you just play the sound before you record?
Because I can never keep up the link. See, iPhones cost too much for them not to do what you want them to do at all times. Risible.
Okay. What does it mean?
What's that
mean? Risible. Okay. See, now y'all asking. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Risible. Capable of laughing. Disposed to laugh. Definition number 2. Arousing or provoking laughter. Number 3, associated with, relating to, or used in laughter. So it's like this. When they arrived, they were treated to a sight that was as surreal as it was risible.
Okay.
So, I never even asked. So these words of the day, are we supposed to eventually use it like how they do in Sesame Street? And then we
I wish.
Ironically, when I heard the word in definition, I kept thinking about Elmo. And he just brought up Sesame Street.
Brought to you by
Sesame Street.
Man, I think I've been trying to think through that, right? For the longest time, I've been thinking through that. Literally, since this podcast started. I've been thinking.
Use the word.
Yeah, but what would the reward be for that? Because we grown. I can't give y'all stars and stickers. And then what, you know what I mean? And what is it? Do you get a $50 gift card?
I would love that.
You said you would love that.
But at the end of it, so we say maybe whoever uses the word of the day the most.
That's like a game.
The most.
Yeah, but then everyone's going to just say risible the whole podcast. Yeah.
So I thought what you meant by the most is over the span of multiple podcasts. By this podcast, who used the word of the day per podcast correctly or something.
I'm not doing it that much for one gift card.
$50?
I need to do it in one podcast. I need to focus all my energy in on one.
I feel like if that's the case, though, the whole podcast you're going to be sitting there with the vein popping, thinking right here. I can
use the word reasonable, yes, and I will my praise.
Man, I
you didn't say
participate. That's good. That's what's up. See, Lon and them, they don't want to participate. They just want to talk about things. They don't want to do fun things like this.
Well, there's a $50 gift card on the line.
To Home Depot.
Lowe's. It's black owned.
Definitely. I don't know if it's black owned.
I was going to say, is it?
CEO. He is his wife.
The
CEO is black, yes. But does that mean that he owns it?
Chief executive officer. Maybe he doesn't mean that he's the owner.
Yeah.
That's logistic. All I know is the CEO of Lowe's is black.
Yes, he is. And he does things in the community for black people. And so I haven't been to Home Depot in forever.
In Lowe's, in my experience, it's nicer than Home Depot when I go to Lowe's.
juxtapose this for us. Like what? It's literally, honestly, it's like a skeleton. You take off the skin, it's the same thing. What are you talking about?
It's nicer.
What is the
it's like
nicer.
If we were having a conversation and I said Target was nicer than Walmart,
that's different because Target is nicer than Walmart.
If black people, they find out something black. And it's better anyway.
Yeah, so I didn't even know it till just now. I literally in my mind always thought Lowe's was nicer.
Tobias, if you paint both stores black, if you paint both stores black, you won't know the difference.
I would because people will be wearing orange when I go inside.
Okay. Blue is more aesthetically pleasing to you?
No, but seriously, like I think Lowe's is nicer. I feel like the next time y'all go into Lowe's, look around, and then the next time you go into Home Depot, look around, and you'll be like, okay, I see what Tobias.
They both look like warehouses.
They both sell wood.
Yeah, they both sell wood.
I'm trying to tell you, like it's something about it. I don't know.
Well, now you know what it is.
Yes,
it's the black CEO. Okay, you feel more at home there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're like, ooh, I would follow you around the store, but we got a black CEO.
For us, by us.
And yeah, they sell FUBU in the back. You ain't know.
That's what it
is. Man, speaking of Black Lives Matter, Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Okay, so I did read what he said as far as his stance because of his Christian values. As a Christian,
let me. I'm gonna say what he said, right? Okay. And I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm definitely going to paraphrase.
Okay.
He said that a reporter asked him why he didn't kneel like everyone else, why he didn't wear a Black Lives Matter shirt or anything like that. He said, I do believe that Black Lives Matter. I just think for me, it wasn't the best way to show that Black Lives Matter and that all lives matter. I think that we are all made in the image of God. The Imago Dei in parentheses.
Yeah, we are.
Or quotation, parentheses. We are made in the Imago Dei. He didn't say Imago Dei. That's our word. And that Black Lives Matter is showcased through the gospel of Jesus Christ. And because he's a Christian, he feels like that's the best way to show that Black Lives Matter and that everyone has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and that we like to point fingers at who's wrong is worse, when in all actuality we all need Jesus. And so he does believe that Black Lives Matter, but he doesn't believe that wearing a shirt and kneeling is the way to go about that. He thinks that the gospel should be shared and should be expressed. That's my best paraphrase of foolishness. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just so many layers to this.
So many layers
to this. First and foremost, as a Christian, I cannot relate. I think and believe that Jesus was a pretty clear advocate for people who were oppressed. And I don't think that he bridled his words to make them comfortable. And so it's ironic that you're saying as a follower of Christ, this is what I feel inclined to do. When as a follower of Christ, you should actually feel more inclined to be more radical. Anything. Jesus was pretty radical. His disciples were pretty, we have a select few that we could point out who were pretty radical. And I think that if in saying Black Lives Matter, you actually are saying that all lives matter, but what you're saying is these lives are not being acknowledged.
Why do we have to continue to tell people that?
Yeah.
Right. It's not anti-white. It's pro-Black.
We not dismissing other lives. And like, I feel like I say for some people, I'm like, man, I'm not about to tell you that. But like when a black man says it, it's like, fam, I don't think you understand.
Your fist ball it up. It's like you want to hit him.
I do.
Yeah.
Because when you say things like that, you don't say that for anything else. You don't think that way for anything else.
Exactly. And when you say, I don't think wearing a shirt and kneeling, these actions of solidarity are the best ways to show it. Well, this is what we have right now that are peaceable protests. And so I would ask, well, what in place? Because you said share the gospel. Okay, what does that look like in action? Because we're doing an action. You may think it's a small action. You may call it a necessary action. But then my next question is, what is the necessary action? How are you actively sharing the gospel that is in direct relation to what's happening to Black people?
You know what the Bible says? You know what the gospel is? Jesus leaves the 99 to save the one. Mm-hmm. We Black lives right now would be that one. So
Jesus would be willing to say concisely and clearly, Black lives matter. And defend that he is not saying no other lives matter. He's not saying that. He's saying, though, who is being oppressed right now and disenfranchised right now are Black people. So I need you to understand that Black lives matter. That's it.
Is it better? Is it better if we say Black lives matter also? Would that help people?
It would probably help them understand better, but we shouldn't even have to add.
We shouldn't.
Also,
have y'all seen Michael Chase stand up?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because he was like, "Fam, we stuck on matter."
He's like, can we be civil? He's like we just want to be civil.
Black lives too.
Right.
We matter too.
In conjunction with.
So it's to a point where like I'll be honest, I've stopped talking to certain people because I feel like even now in this conversation that we're having, I'm happy to have the conversation, but then just us talking about it is reminding me of so many other conversations that I've had that I instantly got exhausted. Like I instantly got like you. It's just too much, and so it's draining, and I hate trying to defend something that is like, to me it should be obvious. Mm-hmm. And I read about I really loved Trevor Noah's book where he talked about how in different countries they actually like truly learn certain things. And I think like I grew up in Jonesboro, Georgia, where Gone with the Wind was filmed. Mm-hmm. And I think about how we was watching that movie where the slaves were happy, and it was all black class, and we were going to like the museum for Gone with the Wind. And then now as I'm older, I'm just like, man, that was messed up. They might as well just took us to pick cotton. And so I think about that, and I had a whole conversation with my friend who was like, I just don't understand.
There's slaves and Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's slaves and Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Why were they slaves and Gone with the Wind? Didn't that take place in like the 40s?
No. The movie was filmed in like the 40s. It takes place in like during Civil War.
Oh, I'm thinking of Casablanca. Mm. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Nah, they had planes.
No, yeah. And so then
wasn't the dude like, here's looking at you, kid, or something like that? Is that Casablanca?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just
actual lines.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But my point is, I was talking to somebody about that movie, and he was like, well, you guys won an award for that movie, the first Black person to ever win an Oscar or something. And I was like, for playing a happy slave.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
I love you guys winning an award.
You guys.
All of us.
See, even white people know that we represent a whole community. We don't just represent ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so then to circle back to that basketball player dude, whatever,
Jonathan Isaac,
yeah,
who's a minister who just got ordained as a minister, and I'm not laughing at this, but I feel like it's a little bit of poetic justice here.
I laughed.
There's some poetic justice here.
I laughed.
He tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
So he couldn't kneel if he wanted to now.
Sit yourself down. That's what God told him.
Sorry, you were saying.
But my point is, I feel like he was just being too deep. Like I had a friend in college.
I agree.
I had a friend in college who one time was like, every time I would talk to him, he wouldn't really say much back to me so eventually I was like, bro, why aren't you talking? And he was like the Bible says to watch our tongue and to watch our words and everything. And I was like, you can talk, bro. Like I was like, you can speak. And I just feel like as I heard that whole story, I was like, man,
quiet because the Bible says be quick to hear and slow to speak.
Life is death.
Like I kid you not.
I want to die, so let me shut up.
I kid you not. We could be having this conversation right now, and he would just be sitting there. And I'm trying not to.
No, he would not just be sitting here.
He would be sitting there.
No, I'm telling you right now. No, he would not.
Oh,
he would not be invited on this podcast.
He cooled down. He calmed down. But back then, I was like, bro, you being too deep.
Christians have the propensity to over spiritualize things, and it's annoying, and it's unnecessary, and it leads to like thoughts and actions like this, where it's just like, okay, does your life matter, sir? Yes. Are you Black? Yes. Then does Black Lives Matter? If the answer is yes, then that's just it.
I will say this. In a way, like I wanted to agree with him so bad.
You did?
I did. Because I love when people come out as Christians.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
I love that. But but here's the thing about Christians, and like just like how we talked about Black people, so even more so, Christians represent the whole, the whole gambit. It don't matter what denomination. That's why I hate when certain people speak, because I'm like, man, nah, like you
don't represent me.
Exactly.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm laughing.
What I said was visible.
No, oh yeah, but I'm laughing. I see what you did there.
Nice.
But I'm laughing because I'm thinking about, to me, you wanting, it's kind of like
no, before he finished what he was saying.
Yeah.
As he was saying it, I was like, no. Because here's what people don't understand. The gospel is rigid, but it's malleable at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right? So the gospel can be implemented in so many ways and in so many cases, right? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. The gospel is many things. The gospel is sacrificing. The gospel is putting others first. The gospel is, pointing people to Jesus. The gospel, and doing those things point people to Jesus. You know what I mean? So it's not like this thing of, well, I'm a Christian, and so I have to hold all lives as equal. Like, no. We're speaking about equity right now. You know what I'm saying? We're not speaking about equality. You know what I mean? And Jesus wasn't and isn't about equality. Jesus is about fairness and what people need and where they need to be. Like, just like this, when the Bible talks about, don't regard yourself higher than you ought to think, right? Mm-hmm. For someone, for a lot of us, it's, well, dang, I guess we got to look at ourselves very lowly. And no, that's not what the Bible's saying. Don't think of yourself higher than you should think.
Right.
So for some people, it should register to them like, no, I have intrinsic value in Christ Jesus, right? I have intrinsic value. So, and yes, I am created in the image of God. The Bible even talks about how we're little gods and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get carried away with it. But yeah, we're not 5%ers, but we are made in the image of God. And for that reason alone, there's intrinsic value. You know what I mean? So what it's to say is, although I might be a millionaire, I'm not better than the person that's on the street. You know what I mean? And that person on the street shouldn't look lowly on themselves because of their social status in America or wherever it might be, because they also have the same intrinsic value in Christ Jesus. So no, we're not all created equal, so to speak, but we all have, if you believe in Jesus, we have the same equity and we have the same stake in the kingdom of God. And those are the things that should be coming across when we're talking about Black Lives Mattering. Like, no, okay, they're being disenfranchised. So let's do something. We need to do something here.
Right.
I feel like I heard it best from
I heard it best. Like, I ain't like what you were saying, but I
No. I loved what you said,
but in a better way.
But in a better way.
So when I said I feel like I heard it best, I meant like I'm talking about Jonathan. So like I feel like what Jonathan.
No, I think he's wrong. Like,
yeah, so he's wrong. So he's wrong, and I feel like another perspective that I heard on that from the truth. He was I don't know what I was like listening to. If it was like
The Truth, Emmanuel Lambert. Okay.
And so he was talking about how he feel like in this time, instead of like, praying for peace and kumbaya and everything that.
Yes.
He was saying like he felt like that was the wrong thing to do right now. He said like because it didn't feel like of course he loves people, he loves everyone, but he said he feels like right now he needed to be praying for people to prepare for war.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the mindset that guy like Jonathan should have had in proclaiming that he's Christian. Like if he had that mindset, like it would have been dope. Like if like, and I might have even had appreciated it if he had a counter like, oh, I don't want to wear this jersey, but I want to do this instead, or something. But he had nothing.
I'm with him. I'm with him to a point. Well, I reposted what the truth said. So I agree with that. But I've been thinking that. I'm like, so with people protesting and even rioting, I'm like, it's okay. Here's okay. Y'all brought us here. The Bible talks about it, man. Like war is riddled all throughout the Bible, and everyone wants to act like the gospel, and like, no, don't never forget the gospel, but people want to act like Jesus is just this man that always is like, calm down, everybody. I just want everybody to kumbaya. And that's not him at all. He said, I have come not to bring peace, but a sword. I come to set a father against his son, a daughter against her mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when he comes back, he's coming back for war. You know what I mean? Like he ain't coming back for war because war is like he Warren G and Nate Dogg up in this thing when he comes back. You know what I'm saying?
I think that what's happening right now is exactly what Keith said, is that God is a God of not just fairness but justice. And so what will need to be repaid will be repaid.
Oh,
it will be settled in and I think that is kind of the space that we're in. It's not that peace is not the ultimate goal, but I think that there's a necessary confrontation. And it's like if two people are in a relationship and there's consistent issues, consistently sweeping those issues under the rug builds tension and resentment until you confront them head on. And now we have a real genuine like shot at peace and some sort of camaraderie, because we're willing to actually honestly address what both of us are bringing to the table that's causing this tension. Now, once we settle that, no matter how ugly that gets, then we can start stepping into the more pretty and peaceful territory. But it is unfair to the party that is being oppressed to pretend as though peace is the only goal. When peace is really just expected to be a remnant of this very necessary confrontation.
So I agree 1,000%.
Yeah,
people run. They run from the confrontation, and they run from it because they never want to deal with it, and that's why we are where we are.
It's like wanting us to forgive you without apologizing,
and that's the gospel. And that's the gospel. That's the gospel. One more time. That is the gospel.
I thought you was gonna start singing that song.
The Lord, I need. I want to be saved. Well, yo, confess. What confess? What do you confess? What do you confess? Yes. What are you confessing and repenting and turning from? Your sins. But what are sins? Wrongful acts against God.
Yeah. You have to apologize.
Yes, that relationship is scarred and jacked up. You need to address it.
Right.
Yo, confess and believe that, and we'll be okay. That's what I want. I want you to admit you're wrong, and I want you to stop doing the wrong you was doing. Hey, I'm gonna send my Holy Spirit to even help you stop doing this stuff.
That's so hard for people though.
To understand?
To
admit they wrong.
Boy, let's move on. Yes.
Because now we about to start.
Yeah, because there's so many.
What keeps it from being hard for you to admit? It's because you see yourself higher than you should. Because if you saw yourself as simply a flawed human in need of Christ, you would already know that this little need that you keep coming in head on with is going to keep happening. The sin, maybe not the same one, but sin will keep happening because you will always be in need of Christ. Let's move on. What's going on? What are we talking about?
Yes. I want to move on from this. I wanted to start light, but we started heavy. And it's all fine. So we just going to keep on checking. But after this, we're going to go light. We're going to go light. That's the reason why Lon and Victoria are on break, because they're like, yo, these topics are just too much. They needed a break.
I got breathing.
They did.
I couldn't be like a newscaster or nothing. Like I feel like I would just be sad.
Because they have to be detached.
Yeah, that's isn't your dad a newscaster?
My dad?
Yeah.
No, my dad.
Your dad's the mayor of Colorado.
Of Denver.
Oh yeah,
that's Colorado.
We don't know anything else in Colorado. He's the mayor.
Yeah, I know. I know y'all get Rocky Mountains.
When you said that, I was about.
Is that Colorado? Rocky Mountains?
The Rocky Mountains. See, I'm not from Denver. I know you want me to know, but
you gotta know that's your dad.
Have me recorded in sounding stupid.
Who do you know that was like doing the news and stuff?
My dad was doing the news, but he was doing the news because he's the mayor.
Oh, so he just be on there. They just be having him.
He just got a job as a newscaster.
Your sister did.
My little sister did.
She followed her dad's footsteps because he was a.
That's dope. My stepmom was on Good Morning America. She was waving.
What happened to my
stepmom was on Good Morning America. She was waving in the crowd.
Man. Man, how much time we got left on this one thing? Real quick before we move on, then we'll take a quick break. You've heard the Try Jesus song. What's the guy's name? I know you in that Christian circle.
Toby.
What's his name? What's his whole name?
Toby. I can't pronounce his last name. I went to one of his concerts.
She about to tell us.
I don't know his last name.
Oh, I thought she was about to tell you went to one of his concerts.
In that Christian circle.
How you could that coming to my concert and not knowing my last name is like coming to my house and not knowing my last name.
I know his last name. I just don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't.
So you don't want to say it on air.
Mm-mm.
I know it. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
I do. I know the spelling and everything. It's like Nwige. I don't know how to pronounce that.
No.
Right.
Don't try, Keith.
So Toby, he, and I don't like the name Toby at a time like this, but
I hate when people call me Toby. Is my name not even spelled T-O? I'd be like, I'm not Kunta.
Why would people call you Toby?
Tobias. Usually it's spelled T-O.
Oh, really?
Mine's spelled T-A. Yeah.
I've never even thought about that as a nickname.
Yeah,
it's white people, ain't it? It's white people, ain't it? Yeah.
And then when I say I'm not Kunta, like only my black friends get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he wasn't Toby. He was Kunta.
Oh,
but but you're not either. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm neither. Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm back. I'm with you. So his song "Try Jesus," thoughts?
I thought it was funny.
You thought it was funny?
He read my soul and put it in a song.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I can't sing that song because somebody goes like see me singing that song and think I can fight, and then I'm gonna just be like, nah, man, I just thought it was cool.
Just liked it. I like it and I relate to it, and it was funny.
It's the nugget you book for Christians.
And it was true, and I just don't have anything else to say.
So yeah, man.
I am yet being sanctified. The truth is that in certain aspects, you really should try Jesus before trying me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not me bragging. That is me being very honest about where I am in my walk with the Lord.
Oh, that's not you bragging. You can fight.
She got them hands.
I'm not bragging about that. I'm
she can fight.
It's the truth.
She can fight.
She got them hands.
Whether I can or not, I will.
Let it be known, podcast.
That is the point.
She got them hands.
Whether I can or not, I will. And that is why I can relate.
Well, I'll leave it alone then, because I found it to be problematic.
Yes, don't share. We need difference of opinions. Please.
I mean, I don't have any more on it.
He's scared now. You gonna punch him?
You just think it's problematic.
Yeah, I just think it's problematic.
He's scared now.
Is it because
we know you can fight?
Jesus.
What? Tobias, shut up.
I said
Is it the reference of Jesus and then the taking the fighting lightheartedly? What is it?
I just think it's the whole thing. But I don't want to be that. I'm that guy, but I don't. If you guys are okay with it,
delve into being that guy.
I think that is problematic, and I think that it plays into. Excuse me. I think that it plays into the stereotype that I just think it plays into multiple stereotypes. Christians either trying to be too worldly, quote unquote. Christians not being as holy as they should be, quote unquote. I think it plays into a lot of stereotypes, stuff that might be true often, but I'm like, man. In the same token, because at one point, it was talking about how Jesus turned the other cheek, and I think he referenced that in the song, and he was like, I'm not turning the other cheek, but it's like, fam, that's what Christian is. Christian means little Christ, and we should be striving each and every day to be more like Jesus. You know what I mean? Why would I try Jesus if you won't even try Jesus in this circumstance that got you wanting to fight me? You know what I mean?
And I can understand that, and I think that when you look at it seriously, then yes, and then maybe that even questions whether or not that should be like publicly released versus just something funny between you and whoever you're sharing it with. But I think that I didn't look at it that seriously. I don't even know if he was serious.
He was. I watched. He has a video where he breaks it down, and he says, and his wife was even like. His wife was like, I feel like he's looking for a fight. He was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, he's looking for a fight.
And that could be what it could be taken as. And it could also be taken as not like Keith was saying, not taking the discipline of being a Christian seriously, where you are willing to not react the way that you may have, prior to Jesus. So I understand that. I guess I just didn't take it. I didn't even look at it past the first time I saw it. And I was like, I get it. In extreme cases, I ain't just out here fighting.
Right. You're too old to be fighting.
I really am.
Yeah.
That's very extreme for me to do that.
A topic that we will definitely fight about when we come back. Brandy's newest album, we need your take on it. And this whole Moesha debacle that's got me befuddled.
Befuddled. We'll be the word of the day.
Okay.
Well, is it a risible word? Did you laugh? So, Brandy released an album. Tobias and I reviewed it last week. I didn't really get into my bag as much as I wanted to. But hopefully today, I'll be able to do it some justice. It was just a lot of cons for me and not enough applause, which it did deserve. But we have Alana here, who is about probably just as big of a Brandy fan as myself. Maybe more. I don't know. We'll see. Your thoughts on this, on her latest effort?
Should we tell her what we gave it? I think I already. Well,
Tobias scored it a 6. No, you scored it a 7.
yeah, I gave it a 7.
I scored it a 6. She's thinking.
I have my answer. In context of just comparing it to Brandy's other work of art, you know. Okay, I'll start here. She was very consistent to her sound. What I've discussed with someone else who is also an avid Brandy fan is that it's so hard to say this out loud because I feel like people try her, and I don't want to be a fan and then say something and they think they got some sort of leverage.
Exactly.
She's still the vocal Bible. She is still great. Okay.
Y'all remember, she can fight, y'all.
Stop saying that. But I'm trying to find the most, political way to say this. So she stayed true to her sound. I think that I would have appreciated something new. I think I would have appreciated, that's the best way I could say that. If I'm gonna rate the project, you want me to expound on that?
I felt like this style. It's your review. But I felt like she delved more into harmony and riffs, more than past times.
Recent projects.
Yeah.
As in,
what I'm talking about when I say sound, I'm talking about her production sound.
Okay.
About her airy harmonies and all of that was even still very consistent with what we know of her.
Yeah.
Her harmonies were more potent and maybe her riffs were more consistent, but her harmonies are very distinct. You know when it's Brandy harmonizing.
And Ray J.
You know when it's them, and you know when it's a song on her album, the production is consistent. Her sound is consistent. And what I'm saying is I could have appreciated something new in that way. There were a few songs in there that I really, really loved. Even her single Borderline, I think Borderline was one of my favorite songs on the album.
Like Borderline, Keith?
Huh? I'm not on the border. I'm not on the borderline with Borderline. Borderline is amazing. I listened to it today.
Agreement.
Me too.
Yeah, that's a great song. But I think I would rate this a 7.5. And then I want to keep that in context of this is a Brandy rating. So 7.5 when we're considering Brandy's work in her catalog for me is like a 7.5 of Brandy is still
high.
Amazing. Yeah.
I listened to her basically her whole catalog the other day. Like I just had a playlist of Brandy, like just top to bottom, just beginning to end.
Yeah. Her first two albums are the most commercial, and you can tell when the switch happened.
Yes.
Yes, you can hear
but also the first two are the best Brandy albums. Period. Wait.
Never say never.
Wait. Never say. It's never say never.
Thank you.
Wait. No, I can't. No. Okay. Let me. No, because listening to it changed my whole thought on it. Yeah. It's Brandy. It's the first album.
Okay.
You can listen to that whole album.
No skips.
No skips. Minus that last song, that album that she did about God. I was like, what is this?
Well, that was the thing in the 90s. Everybody had to sing a song about God.
Oh, Kirk Franklin.
Or thanking. Even Chris Brown did it. He was early 2000s.
He was like, we got it. Before I sell my soul to the devil, let me thank God real quick.
Hold on. Bow Out did a thank you song. Black Street.
Okay. I want to thank you. That wasn't to God. That was to
his friends. I'm saying they did thank you songs or God songs. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, man, I ain't no Christian. It's like, no, I don't know. No, but it's the Brandy album. And then honestly, I think Full Moon.
I mean, I feel like other people who are fans of Brandy, Never Say Never is my favorite. And I guess that might be just reasons of relatability and how old I was when that album came out.
Yeah.
and then my appreciation for it because of what it meant to me, because of how old I was. I think that was the album where I learned love Brandy as an artist. I was a kid watching Moesha, and I loved her there. I loved her as Cinderella and as the Barbie doll. But then as an artist, I learned her in Never Say Never.
Fam, listening to that out, listening to Brandy, and then going straight into Never Say Never. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Those albums are fine.
It's an experience. Like, you got T, you gotta try it, bro. Like, it was euphoric. It was euphoric, bro.
I'll try it.
You went from one album, and then you just immediately hear maturation, because those albums are 4 years apart. So I remember Never Say Never came out in 98.
She went from being a kid to a young adult. And you know what? Weird for sure.
You know what album I think you should do that for? Listen to Pimp a Butterfly, and then let it go into Good Kid, Mad City. As he's like,
go backwards.
Yes, so like I had it in my old car. You know, I had this actual CDs in there, and back when To Pimp a Butterfly actually came out, I let it do that by accident.
Okay,
it was like he, because he's like pop, and then it goes into that static noise of the Lord's Prayer.
Okay,
and it was almost like, did this happen on purpose? I don't think he planned it that way, but it actually it actually had like an effect on me where I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try it, because I still have yet to listen to Pimp a Butterfly in entirety.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or any of Kendrick's work, minus that like untitled album that he did. I listened to that whole thing. No, but that album that she did with Kanye West and Timbaland, not a good album.
Is that human?
What was that, Aphrodisiac?
It was Aphrodisiac, I believe.
Yeah.
It didn't flow. It didn't flow. Huh?
Human, was that like 08?
I think Human came out of 08. Human's not good either.
Aphrodisiac. I know.
She was definitely human on that album. I said, this is not. He was singing her behind off, but I'm like, these songs aren't good.
But that's why you have to be more objective. When it's her, it's never going to be, did she sing well?
Right. It's song selection, production.
Yes. 04.
I'm not even mad at the production. It's just like, lyrically, and like just where you taking this, I'm like, this isn't good.
We didn't talk about this, but what do you feel about lyrically this new album then?
I did enjoy it.
I thought the lyrics, I told you I read some of the lyrics.
I read the lyrics period when I listened to an album for the first time.
You can tell that she wrote on it, and you can tell that she had help writing it.
Yeah. Did you notice, because I told you this last week, Keith, but did you notice on the first song when she says the GOAT, if you look at the lyrics?
Yeah, you said that.
It says Whitney Houston.
A song about her, yes.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was fire.
Yeah, I read the lyrics on every song when I was listening to it for the first time.
Yeah, we got to. Man,
yeah.
Bring back, normalize lyrics and reading the lyrics.
lyrics. Yeah. Well, iTunes has helped us out. Apple has helped us out by giving us the little lyrics button.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I do. Did you know that you ever like try to scroll like to get to the lyric that you're trying to get to? It'll take you to that part of the song.
Oh, if you click it?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It takes you to that part. Mm-hmm. I like doing it on the TV too. Like if anybody has an Apple TV, like it's dope. Like watching it on the TV, like it's just fire. Like it's like a whole experience.
One thing Apple doesn't do is pull up the video when you're getting pulled over by the cops. So.
They do not do that.
Yeah.
Also, shameless plug, when I drop something, y'all should look at the lyrics because I got bars, man.
I will always look at the lyrics.
You have to
I look at the lyrics. I'm going to be honest with you.
Out.
I'm going to be honest with you. I love Brandy, but I also have to read the lyrics because sometimes you don't know what she's saying.
We talked about that last week.
She has such an airy sound. It's hard sometimes.
No.
I was like, she said words right there.
She was doing too much. Just say it. She was doing too much sometimes.
That's probably the riffs and the stuff that you're talking about. That probably made that a little more convoluted too. But whether I wanted to or not, I was going to put them words up because I'm like, what are we what?
Because I noticed it might even be on that first song where there was parts where she was doing like an ad lib while she was harmonizing. in all of this other stuff, and I was just like, yo, man.
Sometimes her harmonies are so complex that you can't, like, it's like you can't focus in on the words because it feels like
I feel like that
12-part harmony.
I feel like that Mr. Krabs. I feel like that Mr. Krabs meme when he's like looking around and stuff. And I was like, yo,
sometimes their harmonies are really complex and it's hard to follow. I can't focus on both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of not being able to focus on both things at the same time, so Countess Vaughn and Brandy have long had a strained history.
Yeah.
Countess wanted to be counted in on a lot of things. Subsequently, she was not. Now there's this conversation. Now that Moesha is on Netflix, this new generation apparently that hasn't been seeing it, and apparently they've had reruns on TV for the longest time, unbeknownst to me as well. But everyone is excited that it's now on Netflix. Until they caught the relationship between Countess Vaughn and Brandy's character, Kim and Moesha, right? So they're saying that Moesha is fat shaming Kim.
I don't remember.
They also had beef with Frank. That's just a side note. It's not even just Countess Vaughn and Brandy's dynamic. They said that Frank was a problematic TV dad.
Oh, what was wrong with Frank?
I'm going to read you the post that I saw.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's do some research.
She came prepared.
Since Moesha is on Netflix now, it's time we talk about the worst TV dad in history, Frank Mitchell. He was terrible.
So he's worse than Married with Children.
Mm-hmm.
He's worse than Homer Simpson.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think of some other bad ones. He's worse than the dude from Breaking Bad. He sold drugs.
He worse.
He did it for the family. The worst TV dad in history. He was a terrible misogynistic husband. He had an affair with his wife and made his sister raise his child Ray J as her own for 18 years, calling him his nephew. He called Moesha a whore for getting a tattoo. He blamed Moesha for smoking weed when really it was Miles. He never gave Dee the same love she gave him, which is why she left to Jamaica towards the end of the series. He stereotyped Q as a thug and never gave him a chance. Lastly, he wore big clothes, had a big box Chevy head, and always had a bad haircut.
That last part, I just didn't like how he dressed.
Yeah, I just think they didn't like it.
You know, that's just what they wanted you to know.
Oh, man.
But we can focus on Moesha and Countess for now.
But that's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
It's also high-key true. But he was pretty maybe not worse, but he was a pretty problematic dad. Because I found myself multiple times annoyed with him while watching these reruns. Like,
I remember one time he said "damn," and I was like, "Wow, Frank." Cussing in front of your daughter, cussing at your daughter like that.
Moesha was wild though. When you watch these shows, you watch the type of stuff she was doing.
I'm going to get to Moesha. Right now, I'm in my last season of Boy Meets World, and then I gotta watch Girl Meets World, and then I'll be right over there to Moesha.
Girl Meets World is good, actually.
It is good.
Yeah.
But to talk about the Countess Vaughn Moesha thing, what they're probably referring to is the episode where Countess is maybe like one or two that I can remember. One particularly was Countess trying out for the cheerleading squad, and Mo had this issue where she want to do it at first, but then Countess talked her into it, and then Countess got picked, Mo didn't, and Mo found herself being jealous because she wasn't in the spotlight and popular enough anymore. So she made fun of her for being fat. Then another time was Mo getting mad about something else and projected her anger again and made fun of her for being fat or saying she needed a diet or something.
Jeez.
It's really just the times, okay? We just weren't. There are words that I said in middle and late elementary and high school that I called people that I wouldn't say now because it's just way too sensitive.
When's the last time you heard the F word?
Like, you hear me?
What?
That's the word I'm thinking of. I just brought that up to my friend today. I was like, we used to say that so nonchalant.
Oh, yeah.
It meant nothing.
For a second, I was sitting here like,
Tobias, shut up. Yes.
What you talking about?
Right.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure it out. I'm having a slow moment. I'm like, F word.
But that's the word.
But he didn't have the moment internally. Like we had to experience it with him.
My bad.
It's okay. He's like, wait, what word? Oh,
you can't say
that word.
You can't say that now. You cannot say that word anymore. And along with, I mean, there's just protection for all. And except Black lives, but there's protection for all. And fat shaming is something people take, I guess, seriously now. And it's not even, I don't think it was fat shaming then. I think it was just you're just being a butthole. At that point, she wasn't kidding. So she was just being a butthole.
Well, maybe she was fat shaming her, but it's one thing for a show to show that. And then it's another for like it to be, it's one thing for a show to show that and to applaud it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But did she wind up saying that she was wrong at the end? Like, I'm jacked up for doing this? Like,
apologizing.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's even the presentation of it for people now, or the generation now, which is Z. Is it Z? Is that the generation?
We in Z.
Okay. So I think that, them watching it's like we wouldn't even put it out there. And it's like, well, these shows back in the day were literally created to address these issues in a more raw way. And I think now it's presented where it's like our goal is just to represent this group of marginalized people, whatever that may be today. People who love cats. Today, our show is to represent them. And if the goal is only to do that, then yeah, it is going to be presented in a very neat way. Back then, it was like, that's just an aspect of the show. Today, really, Mo's just apologizing for being rude. She's not even focusing particularly on, and I called you fat. I shouldn't have called you fat.
What's up, Tigo?
Oh, I have nothing to say. It took me a long time to realize that word. So
he's still stuck on that.
Just keep bringing attention to the word.
So I was just listening to what she had to say. I didn't have nothing else to say after that. I was just taking in. And
go ahead. I keep dropping my phone. I'm gonna sound like a terrible person.
I feel like you might say something that I feel.
I think people need to toughen up, and I think people need to toughen up, and I think there's too much to care about right now.
So
and I don't care, and I think sometimes even though sometimes someone's being mean and saying and doing certain things, I think sometimes people just need to use that as fuel to get better or to do better. And if not, be comfortable in themselves. You know what I mean? Like if you don't feel like being Lizzo, then do what you need to do to not be Lizzo. If you're fine with being Lizzo, Lizzo's fine with being Lizzo. What'd you say?
Lizzo would have said, so what?
Yeah, she would have.
What happened?
Oh, I agree with what both of y'all are saying. Lizzo would have been okay with being Lizzo. And also, the reason I didn't really respond to what she was saying was because in my head, I thought the same thing you said, Keith, but I didn't think of it in a nice way. I thought of it how like...
Oh, I was nice. That's
yeah, cool. I thought of it how like Chappelle said it in his stand-up when he's like, I feel like a whole bunch of people being whatever. And I was just like, so I was like, I can't say that on here, so I'm just quiet.
Need something to complain about. Next, they'll be trying to get the show off of Netflix, and it's just like, I mean, Frank was a bad dad. Mo was a very interesting and complicated teenager, and that's just what it was. It was the 90s.
It was the 90s, and it also, it was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
And it was UPN.
Exactly.
Which was super necessary. I don't know who we would be without UPN. Who would we be?
CW did pretty well too.
The CW is UPN.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it transferred into.
The WB and UPN.
WB. That was the turtle. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it's WB.
On the WB.
So then, yes, I agree.
You said who will we be about it? I don't.
No, they did broadcast most of like the shows that we needed.
Even now, they got all these superheroes on the CW, but they black superheroes.
That's true.
For the people. For us by
they dropping a Batwoman, and it's going to be played by
a
black woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black woman.
Okay. So Generation Zers, if you're listening to this, need y'all to toughen up. We appreciate the things that y'all doing. We appreciate y'all speaking out. But we are right there with you speaking out and saying, yeah, this stuff needs to stop. And it also stops with you. But like at the same token, you kids, like that's why basketball and football sucks, because y'all don't go outside and play. So like
we don't want participation like trophies. Y'all should want to win.
It's the participation trophy generation.
Yeah, that's lame.
Man, my kids, I'll keep them, but we're gonna put them somewhere. They're not gonna be out.
Throw their participation trophy away.
I'm not gonna throw it away, but it's not gonna be out because I paid for it. You know what I mean? I paid for it. I'm not throwing anything away. I paid for it
with the fee.
Right.
You did.
My money paid for it. Is there anything else to talk about? We did the word of the day. We spoke about Jonathan Isaac. We spoke about Brandy. I don't even want to address this. This isn't even worth bringing up. I don't want to address that Countess Vaughn is not a better singer than Brandy. This needs to stop.
So who are saying that?
Point.
We don't even give brevity to it. Don't even worry about it.
All these years with the Monica thing, and now you want to add
now Countess Vaughn gives.
Is she even better than Monica?
I asked for this.
No,
to be talking about.
I don't.
Not even better than Monica.
No, like that whole list of people that they said she was better than. I don't think she's better than any one of them.
Who was the other person? Monica, Brandy, and who?
Aaliyah.
No, she's not.
No.
Well,
she's better. She's a better singer than Aaliyah.
She's better than Aaliyah.
Aaliyah knew that she wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aaliyah saying her.
Don't rock the boat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff. It just be there.
It just
be there. It be there, and then I gotta grab it. It's there. You know.
Countess had a '90s voice.
She had like an escape. She had an escape voice.
She sang and ran very hard.
She could be the fifth member of Escape, which ain't saying anything.
Yes. And
she could have been
just run.
Escape. This unpopular opinion is maybe a popular opinion, but shouldn't be said. But thank God for the group chat, right? Escape was an ugly group.
First of all,
yeah.
We've talked about this.
You and I spoke about this. I never said this on air in front, for hundreds of people to hear.
I didn't know that you didn't realize that was a popular opinion.
I didn't know.
They wasn't cute.
But Candy was in the group, but even Candy looked a little rough. Candy looked.
It's one of those. Well,
Candy looked like the candy you don't want. Candy looked like a whole peep.
A whole peep. Ew.
Candy looked like candy corn.
Like candy corn.
I actually like candy corn too, but
do y'all?
Nah, yeah.
Let me find another bad candy. Oh no,
I can't think of the.
Think about it. No. What was I going to talk about? There was one more thing, and then we could get out of here. Oh, virtual school attire. So with COVID-19 still not under control, because our president is out of control, and as the head, there goes the body. But we still haven't gotten this thing under control to where we would like to. Schools are trying to reopen. I completely understand schools.
Here are open.
Huh?
Schools here are open.
Oh, y'all schools are open. Well, some of y'all are open, but y'all are about to open. And friend of the show, Gina Williams, she's a teacher at one of the schools. Hi, Gina, I know you're listening. She, they're going to try it online, and then they're going to try to migrate the kids into the school and all of that type of stuff. They're still testing it out, and they're watching the other schools that have already opened, right? But I don't know where this school is, but there's this one school, I think it's in New Jersey, where they're telling the kids what to wear. that things that they can't wear to school. And when I say to school, I mean sitting in front of a computer in the comfort of their own homes. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
That's stupid.
So like no hats, no pajamas, no do-rags. You can't wear this.
I mean, I guess
at home. Say what?
All the way up through high school.
I'm pretty sure it's the district of wherever they are.
I might could see do-rags or something if there's like, I don't know.
If I'm thinking about it from like, if I were the parent, I think that there's already enough to be concerned about with the new setting of school. I'm not listening to you tell me what my child has to wear at home. Now, if it's like terms of like what's appropriate or not, right? Obviously, maybe you don't want them to be in something that is like a wife beater because that's what he slept in, right? But you're not going to tell them.
This is my school wife beater.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. But you're not going to create any type of guidelines that are going to make me have to go buy school clothes when they're not in school.
And like you said,
wearing a hat. I don't even know if I cared about that.
Yeah. And like you said, we got so much other stuff to worry about. So then the fact of,
I'm trying to make sure they're even learning at all because they're at home. And you want me to worry about whether or not their shirt is right or their skirt is long enough or whatever the rule is.
Fam, I'm at home.
Right. What are you going to do about it?
Just tell me to turn my camera off. Like, I'm at home. I saw this one post about how a girl, she got up to get a glass of water and she got yelled at. And then she said she looked over at her brother and she's like, how is this B going to tell me what I can and can't do in my own house?
It's such a weird change.
It is.
It's so weird because it's like, what are the guidelines for that? And you should have room to set up some form of guidelines because you have to have some sort of order in order for it to work. But I think that even that's limited because people are at home. And the guidelines should be loose. They should be as simple as this. You have to be present for the times of the class. And then that's pretty much it. Because what else can you request from them?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think people just want stuff to complain about.
They don't have time.
Definitely people want stuff to complain about. Definitely. Another thing to complain about, WAP.
Oh,
WAP. I've heard 3 versions of this song.
I've heard 2. I've heard 2 versions of the song.
I've heard because you got the unedited version, of course, and then I heard the video version. Well, that was the original version, but I heard 2 radio versions of it.
I haven't heard the second radio version.
I don't think I've heard the radio version.
Oh, she went straight to the. I saw the video, and then I've heard the unedited version because someone played it around me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I want to say Nicki Minaj. It's not Nicki Minaj. What's that girl's name? Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion have released a very, very vulgar song.
Provocative.
Yeah.
Is it provocative?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What does it provoke you to do?
I mean, it doesn't provoke me to do anything, but it has to provoke
I wasn't seriously asking you.
Oh, no.
It has to provoke
this is not that type of podcast.
No, yeah. I made a joke to somebody and said the only thing it provoked me to do was to keep my beard because of that beard line, but I was joking.
Oh, my God.
He wasn't joking. He was serious.
Oh, brother.
No, I was joking.
I don't remember. I don't remember this. So my question isn't like what y'all think about the song. It's like, what do you think about what people think about the song? Like the outrage of the song.
Outrage?
Okay.
There has been some outrage.
I mean, I have a clear opinion. I think my opinion personally is that I can't support. Okay, I just can't. that can't be a song that I personally download in my music and play in my car.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's hard. It's interesting for me to say that because I also grew up, judge yourself. But growing up, one of the female rappers that I listened to a lot in high school was Trina. And she's extremely vulgar. She says some wild stuff, but I think also I was a different person then. And so Alana now is not going to be downloading WAP. But I think as far as the outrage, I don't feel outraged. And I think maybe I don't feel outraged because I'm not shocked.
Yeah. Like
they acting like Maya Angelou. They acting like Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison dropped this song.
Yeah, like I was like, didn't they?
And even that wouldn't be surprising. But good.
I was just that's funny. Like I'm thinking about the songs, like she said, the songs we grew up with. Heck, I told y'all I was serious. I told y'all about how during the DMX thing, I that was my first time hearing the dirty version of some of those songs. I was like, oh geez. But in a lot of ways, like I'm thinking of like the Kilo Ali songs or all of those, some of those 3 6 Mafia songs.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And so it's not like I heard it and I was just like, And like that literally was my reaction. And then for whatever reason, I guess I should have known better. I didn't think it was gonna be like how it is. Like I was like, isn't this like I guess in my mind I was like, isn't this like some of the stuff that's already been out? What's new? But
maybe it's because it's the actual and this may be, I don't know, this might not matter, but maybe it feels so in your face because it's the actual hook and name of the song. Yeah. Because I think that exact phrase has probably been in a Yin Yang song, a Ludacris song, a Chris Brown song. You know what I mean? Any artist, terrible. Any artist that came, any artist that you can think of that's had anything sensual or sexual. And so I think maybe because it's just like, boom, this is the title and this is the hook. This is our point.
This is the title. This is the hook, and this is on radio.
Right. And I think the boundaries have been pushed at this point. It's not, even when we were growing up, you couldn't have probably played this on the radio.
Yeah, Tip Drill wasn't playing on the radio.
You didn't hear that on the radio.
Yeah, but that one song was that Yin Yang Twin song.
Whisper?
No. Yeah, with that one. But it was Lil Jon's song.
Which one?
I'm not saying to say it.
There was an edited version that.
Oh, you were so on the like. I don't want to do this.
Wait, to the sweat.
I'm thinking of the edited version, but then I'm thinking of when I found out even what the edited version meant. And I still was like,
Adidas?
No,
that wasn't the
song. Chappelle made fun of it on his show when he was like, they let them say this on the radio. When he found out what.
I don't know a song, not by Lil Jon.
Should I just say it?
Yeah, because I'm sure.
Skeet Skeet.
Oh yeah, well, white people and half the black people didn't even know what it meant then.
I didn't know. Yeah, and they let it go on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay. To the windows, to the walls.
Okay.
And the edited version was like, "Till the sweat drop down in the fall."
Sweat drop down and fall. They were trying to be creative.
Just sweat drop down in the fall. Like, because people don't sweat in the fall. But until then, you know what I mean? That's how hard
actually people do sweat in the fall. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Don't I know it? My dad is hilarious. He said, how you musty in the wintertime? Talk about somebody else.
No, really, why are you sweating enough to be musty in winter? No, I'm actually serious. I'm laughing about
questions that beg answers.
Mm-hmm. Toughen up, people.
That's a condition.
That's a condition.
Toughen up, people.
Man.
Because now I'm shaming. Whatever condition that is, I'm sorry to that group of people.
No, you're not shaming.
Well, this podcast is dedicated to Anna Brown. Does anyone know who Anna Brown is?
She was the homeless lady?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She had a blood clot, refused medical attention, and was arrested, and then she died in jail.
So what article do I have? Oh, this is from, there was a settlement. She was from St. Louis. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And I don't mean to belittle her story at all. But please do some research on Anna Brown. Once again, another person that passed away due to neglect by police officers. Black person. And I'm jacking up. I don't want to jack up her
and
story.
medical neglect.
Said yes, medical neglect, because she was somewhere. I don't want to do this to her. She deserves to. I don't want to do this. Anna Brown, she was 29, died in September from blood clots that formed in her leg and migrated to her lungs after her arrest at St. Mary's Health Center in Richmond Heights. St. Mary's was the third hospital where Brown sought help for her injured ankle, and she refused to leave. So she was at the hospital. She was like asking for help. They were telling her that nothing was wrong with her. They arrested her because she wouldn't leave, and then she died in police custody from pulmonary.
She suffocated from the blood. From
the blood clot.
Yeah, I guess opening. I want to say exploded, but I don't know if that's the right term, in her lungs, and then she suffocated.
I hope that certain people listening to this realize like how like this is the stuff why we're so angry, or like why people get so upset. It's not like George Floyd died and all of a sudden we're just like angry, or Mike Brown and then we forgot about it for a few years. Like, no, there's so many stories that just go untold.
Yes. And with that, right? Because I heard something this week about, well, there's, from a body cam, and we got more footage from the George Floyd thing. And so now we know that it wasn't racially driven, this arrest. And he was high on this and that was happening. He was saying that, fam, please, people, do not lose focus. The focus is not on whether this was racially driven. The focus was not on whether he should have been arrested or not. We're not saying those things. We're saying that he didn't deserve to die from being arrested. Mm-hmm. That's what we're saying. And whomever killed him, because it was a murder, whomever did that should not be allowed to get off scot-free because he was black. And you're not going to sweep this under the rug like you try to do everything else because he was black. Mm-hmm. That is our focus. Mm-hmm. There needs to be justice for him. Mm-hmm. Forget all of the other stuff that's this peripheral stuff that tries to take our attention from what really matters.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Black
lives matter. And because all lives matter, Black lives matter too.
Exactly.
I want to say, if any final words from you guys, we got less than a minute left.
Oh, it's going to cut off on us.
I second what you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for listening. This has been Thank God for the Group Chat. And Bailey, Daddy loves you.
Hey, I love it.
Peace.